All right, let me get this text set up. Great. So welcome to the introduction to the chakras talk. And that's actually our first lesson is that it's chakras, chakras, like chocolate, not chakras. So the system of the chakras has and always will be super fascinating to me. Before I even started my yoga practice, I've always been just super curious about what and why and how makes us all who we are, individually, in families. Um, why do some things land certain ways with us and others don't, and just what makes us tick as human beings. So, very early on in my yoga practice, I had the opportunity to attend one of Sean Corn's chakra intensives, and it blew me away. And if you've ever taken Sean's chakra intensive lives and in person, they're really powerful experiences. And I took this back in the day up at Yogaphoria in Doylestown for any of you that local peeps that remember that space. And it just kind of like hook, line, and sinkered me into studying subtle energy in the yoga practice. There was things that she spoke in that class that just revealed to me deeper levels of knowing and intuition, as well as curiosity about my own experience, my own body, and why certain things had a charge to them, why I was drawn energetically uh, to certain practices or had an emotional response. And so I started studying the chakras with Sean and eventually with her teacher, Anadea Judith, and really through this book, Eastern Body, Western Mind, which is um, a book and a system that I have been utilizing throughout my entire teaching career, really in every class. I might not talk about the chakras in every class, but it's an underlying methodology and system that I'm incorporating in my theming, in my sequencing, and just the energy that I bring to the practice. So let's talk a little bit about what the chakras are. So I already mentioned subtle energy and the energy of the body. So this may be a new concept for you, it may not be. When we talk about energy, we're really talking about life force. So you might hear this referenced as prana or as chi. And the yogis and other traditions talk about the subtle energy as really the system that we can't see, right? You can't dissect the body and see a chakra, but it is something that we all feel, absolutely, right? We've all felt when somebody walks in the room with a bad vibe, how it changes the energy of the room, or how grief manifests in the body, or how falling in love has an energy to it. And so the subtle energy of the bodies, the yogis say, can be mapped through the system called the nadis. And the nadis are these energetic pathways or little rivers through which energy flows. Now, whether or not that's a new concept for you, if you've been practicing yoga at all and done any pranayama techniques, specifically nadi shodhana or alternate nostril breath, you've been working with the subtle body system. You've been working with the chakra system, right? Nadi shodhana, alternate nostril breath, is a purification technique of the three main channels of the body. So the Sushumna Nadi, which runs down the center, and then the Ida on the left and the Pingala on the right. This system, these three main channels, start at the base of the spine and work up through the crown of the head. The Ida channel starts on the left and then weaves right, left, right, left, right. The Pingala starts on the right and weaves left, right, left, right, left. And it's this this snaking energy, or perhaps you've seen it as like the DNA helix, or I think it's called the catechus in like the medical symbol of just these intersecting pathways up a central channel. Where those points intersect is known as a chakra. Now, I want to backtrack for a second because even though subtle energy cannot be seen by the eye if we dissect the body, there still is a physical representation or manifestation of that energy. So, in the system that I've learned, the chakras do kind of come together at different points where there tend to be organs, glands, or a bundle of nerves. And again, there's physical manifestations that we see from any of these energy systems. Like I had just mentioned, grief feels a certain way, love feels a certain way. Anytime energy is trapped or stuck and builds into tension or stress, that feels a certain way. And so if we come back to this idea of central channel, right, we also know that or can know that the central channel runs along our spinal column, which is intimately connected with our nervous system, right? So subtle energy is energetic system that moves energy, prana, life force through the body. Okay? So the chakras in the system, again, that I've taught, there are different traditions. There are 7 chakras. Again, they run from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. So the first one is base of the spine. Second one is the sacral area, the sacrum, between the hips, the low abdomen. Third one is solar plexus, so that space between sternum and belly. Fourth chakra is the heart. Fifth chakra is the throat center. Sixth chakra is the third eye center. And then the seventh chakra is the crown of the head. Each of the chakras, and they're known as wheels or discs, have different characteristics associated with them. So they have elements of lightness and of shadow. They can be balanced, excessive, or deficient. They correspond to a certain element, so earth, water, fire, air. There's a color that corresponds to each chakra. Again, there's a specific location in the body, and then there's different physical manifestations depending on if that chakra is excessive or deficient or blocked or balanced. So this system, the chakra system, can really be looked at as a map for our inner journey, for a deeper understanding of our practices, yoga practices, meditation, but also just our own makeup, our own beingness. And so for me, it's just really informed my practice, which ultimately has really informed my life. And there's oftentimes that I will utilize the knowledge that I have of the chakra system in just everyday life. So without ever having to roll out my mat, I can tap in and say, how am I feeling today? Where do I feel on or off? And utilize different aspects of this system to bring myself into balance or to empower myself or to ground myself. I can also use it when I'm coming into relationship with people, right? To have a greater understanding of who they are and where they're coming from, to build some compassion for their humanity and how that might be expressing itself in the current moment. So it's a really, really powerful system. What I'd like to invite you to do is to join me for my free chakra meditation series for May. It'll be a meditation every Monday at 10 a.m., just a brief meditation and a brief introduction, exploration of each chakra, where I will walk you through the location of that chakra, the name of that chakra, the color and the element of the chakra, and then through a specific visualization meditation to wrap with a mantra that you can use to kind of tone or balance that energy center. Then at the end of May, I kick off my 4-week chakra immersion. So this will be a 15-hour immersion into just like a deeper dive into the chakra system. What it will look like is this. Wednesday nights, there will be a lecture. This is completely virtual. So you'll be able to join live or catch the recording, and it will be a lecture. So we'll talk about the chakra. We'll talk about the deeper characteristics of it and how it might be embodied, how it might be manifesting, and different points of access and different healing practices for that chakra. Again, you can join live. You can watch the recording. There'll be time for Q&A. And then on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m., we'll have a practice around that chakra. So an embodied experience to play around with and get curious about that energy. You will have the opportunity to join me live here in my neighborhood, or you can join virtually and practice with us live online, or again, catch the recording. You'll have access to all of these materials for a year. And then again, the lectures where we come back together on Wednesday will be a time to process the previous week's practice before we build into the next chakra. I recommend grabbing the book, Eastern Body, Western Mind. If you like to learn visually, I'll have some handouts and pictures and things like that. But this is a resource I've been using for 16, 17 years religiously. And so hit me up. Let me know if this is something that you're curious about, if you'd like to learn more about it. Even if you don't join the free meditation series or the chakra immersion, these are things you can still be learning and working with on your own. Any different style of yoga. So it's not specific to vinyasa or yin. There's just different ways to play with this energy and to really use this system as a study guide to yourself. I hope you'll join me.